It's time to take off your clothes, enjoy clothes-free living, and join us for Naked, Nudist, and Naturist.
Welcome to Naked, Nudist, and Naturist, the show that celebrates clothes-free living for all. I'm your host, Frank Stone.
And I'm your correspondent, Lisa Monroe, and I'll be reporting on all things within the naturist community. So it's time to get naked and join us.
And enjoy clothes-free living on Naked, Nudists, and Naturists. Well, greetings and welcome into Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 137 today. We are really glad that you're with us. We've missed you since this past Wednesday. Glad you've come back. We're back, and we are ready to go with you. Ready to go to enjoy clothes-free living for all of the right reasons for the next hour. So come on in. The pool is fine. The hot tub is fired up. The grill is going full bore. Fruits and vegetables off to the right. Cold drinks off to the left. Hot drinks inside. If you go out to the left side door, you'll find a hammock. If you need a nap, want to get away from it all for a few moments, you can go out there. We have a putting green behind the pool area. Help yourself. Practice your putting a little bit. And we do have the cigar bar in the back left corner of the pool area. Help yourself. Plenty of extra lotion, chairs, and towels. Just come on in. Come on in and enjoy clothes-free living for all of the right reasons right here on Naked, Nudist, and Naturist, episode 137. Well, on today's show, of course, Lisa Monroe will be here in just a moment. She's literally walking through the door as we speak. We'll talk to her in just a moment. And then we'll have part one of my interview with BRADY DELL. She is married to Matt Dell. He is the current president for Pine Tree Associates Nudist Club in Annapolis, Maryland. We had him on the show back last May. And Brady is fired up about naturism, does a whole lot for the club, does a whole lot for the world of naturism, promoting the joys, and she was a professional runner and got into nude racing, and she has quite a story to tell. So part one of my interview with BRADY DELL today, and part two will be on next week's show. And I don't know about you, but I think I hear some music, so that can only mean one thing. It's time for the great, the terrific, the completely over-the-top, fully clothes-free and fully smiling, our naturism correspondent, the terrific Lisa Monroe. And here she is, the one and only, the one-of-a-kind, the completely clothes-free and fully smiling, our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. Good morning, Lisa. How are you today?
I'm doing absolutely terrific this morning. How about you?
I'm almost doing so well that I expect law enforcement to arrest me for something, even though I've done nothing wrong. It's just I feel so great, probably from being outside more than usual because it's not the blazing 95, 100-degree heat at this time of year. It's a little bit cooler, but still very warm, and a lot of people would consider it to be very hot. But it's the kind of heat/hot where I could be out there 10 hours a day. And this week I have been. I've been neglecting some things at the studio, which I'll have to make up for.
Yes, you have been neglecting things. But anyway.
But at least I'm getting a lot of stuff done. And the outside of my house looks 1,000 times better than it did last week. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. How about yourself? You getting outside?
Yeah, yes, I am. I've gotten outside and enjoyed it very much. And I had a lot of errands to do this week to catch up on. So it was kind of fun to be out and about. Only bad thing is that you're out and about in clothes. So that's the awful thing. But otherwise, it was fun. Fresh air is wonderful.
Yeah. Well, you said you have to be out and about in clothes. Why is that? Why don't you just go to the grocery store naked and see what happens?
Well, you know that thing about being arrested by police that you mentioned?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I think it might
true.
have something to do with it. Just a little tad of something to do with it.
Although I was having a discussion online with a gentleman. I won't name him because I didn't ask him and I didn't know we were going to discuss this. But to me, and this will spark all kinds of controversies, the emails will become flying in now. But to me, women have a bit of an advantage in this area over men. And I was chatting with this guy online, and you know who he is. I'll tell you off air. And he asked if I was going to go swimming, or I might have said I'm going to go dive in the pool, 'cause, working out hard outside. And I said, when it's all done, I can dive in the pool. And I said, the problem is I have the pool cleaning company comes every Thursday, and it was on a Thursday. And I said, the last thing we need is, some naked guy at his pool when two guys from the company walk in, it could go astray. I said, unlike if two guys from the pool company show up and they see a naked woman in the pool, that's in general most of the time going to be okay. And I know some women who do that and they quickly cover up. Oh, sorry, guys, whatever. And I know some other women who just don't cover up at all. They're naturist nudists. They just lay out there in the sun and thanks, guys. Do your thing and how you been today, and they have a conversation. But for men, it's different. If you're a man out there lying naked at your own pool on your own property, and the pool company shows up, and it's not the same. And maybe I shouldn't say unfair, but it's not the same. Any thoughts on that?
It's very true. I mean, if we're by the pool and the pool guy shows up and I'm naked, there's probably going to be an awkward moment, if nothing else. Even though it might not be awkward for me, it might be awkward for them. They may think it's a come on. Who knows what they might think?
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I think you have the advantage because you could be out there naked and a guy walk up and they probably just go, oh, well, he's naked and wouldn't worry about it.
Well, I don't know. As a man,
True. Yes.
yeah. I mean, I don't. I'm thinking. I'm trying to pretend I'm a man who's not a naturist. If I walk in on men naked, it's going to be, oh shoot, I'll come back later, sir. But if it's a naked woman, it's like, hey, today is my lucky day. I can clean the pool while being entertained.
Oh,
And I'm thinking in the minds of many men, and not myself. I wouldn't approach it that way. I don't care who's naked at the pool if I work for a company. In fact, I would hope that everybody's naked at the pool enjoying the day. So I don't really fit the norm of, I guess, the greater society, which is part of why we do this show to educate
right.
people who are not naturists. Any final thoughts, and then we'll move on.
You might be right about that when it comes to guys, because, I guess a guy walking up to another guy, even though you do locker rooms and things like that, may make you a little bit more comfortable with that. It might be totally different. The perspective from the person walking up on the naked person, depending on male or female, is probably very different.
Yeah. And I've talked to pool guys before, not these guys, but other companies, and they said it happens a whole lot more than one would think. Because the pool guys, as I said, come every Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not a consistent time. It's
Mm-hmm.
sometime between 1 and 4. Well, a couple of days they came at 10 in the morning. They decided to
Mm-hmm.
switch their route for the day. So you can't predict when they're going to come. And so does that mean, okay, I'm not going to enjoy my pool at all until they've come and gone? Or do I just enjoy it at my designated time, my leisure, and whatever happens, happens? That's the big question. They said a lot of people just say, chuck it, it's my pool, and you guys are showing up not an appointed time, and whatever happens, happens. So maybe I should just be a little more bold and say, whatever, here we are. And if you guys want to call ahead, I'll make sure that I'm not out there nude. But in the meantime, whatever. And we'll go from there. Maybe I should just do more of that. What do you think?
Maybe so. Maybe you should just not worry about it. And if
Yeah.
they show up, just stand up with trunks on and go about life and not worry about it.
Well, my trunks would not be on. That's the whole point.
Well, I said, put your
Oh,
trunks on. You
oh,
missed a
okay.
key word there. We've had a discussion about key words.
I mean, I was listening closely. I didn't hear that word, but I'll trust that it was there, and I
Yes, it
missed it,
was.
and that's okay. All right. Well, let's move on here. As everybody
Yes.
knows, we have a Patreon page. We gave up paid work to do this show for free. Not too bright, although we did it on purpose, which makes us even less bright. Like, here's a dumb idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it. But we did it, and we've asked you for support through Patreon, and many of you have come through. Cannot tell you how much we appreciate you. And that's why we give you extra things that the greater community doesn't get, because you help us, we help you. And Lisa Monroe, on every show, we try to celebrate and honor a couple of people who have recently given. Who do we have today?
We have David and Paul. So it looks like there are two new guys coming on board. And, the thing about it is the support is wonderful from the fact that they're helping allay expenses. But the really fun thing is that we get to know these people a little better. And it's just they're great people. And we've had a lot of fun with them.
Yeah, very much so. And so we encourage you to do whatever you can. I mean, you're getting the show for free twice a week. You won't get that anywhere else. You don't get that anywhere else. You never have. And we give you a 1 hour show every Saturday morning without fail, 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time on Spotify, as we say. We've been doing it every Saturday without missing since July 1st of 2023. And now we're giving you a show supposed to be on most Wednesdays. It's turned out to be every Wednesday. And that's 40, 45, 50 minutes. And so if you're consuming the content, we ask you to give back in whatever amount you can. And we appreciate that very much. And we give you extra tidbits when you become a PPP, a paying Patreon peep. And we thank you very much to everybody. But today, David, thank you very much. And Paul, thank you very much as well. All right, Lisa, you are the hostess with the merchandise mostest. What's going on in merchandise?
Well, things are doing very well, and we have some new products, as everyone knows, for a little bit cooler climes. And of course, it's getting warmer down under, so all those people south of the equator can start, looking for some of the things that they need when they're running around naked in the warm. And that's, a little well, I won't call it what it is. There's a little crossbody wallet kind of thing, and phone cases, a whole bunch of things that maybe they'll have fun with. Tote bags, the whole deal.
Okay. And how do people find our merchandise page?
They find us at nakednudistandnaturist.com. When you're on the front page, just click on the menu where it says in and shop, and everything's right there for you to look through.
Okay, that sounds very good. Okay, let's move on now. We have a Twitter post.
Just a second.
Yes.
Can I interrupt for just a moment?
Did I do something wrong? Go ahead.
No, you didn't do anything wrong, but there was something I wanted to interject. You always, bring things to me that I'm not aware of when we start this. So I'm bringing something to you.
Oh.
I got a couple of emails from some people who were just asking me a question about, you mentioned last week or so ago about having a music background and degrees in music. But you've also talked about, the roles you've had in corporate America, which, are pretty high. You've been a CEO. And so I think they were saying, wow, was it a CEO in a music company? What was he doing and how did he get there? And I said, I'll let him answer that.
So you decided to bring that to the show while we're recording as opposed to a private conversation?
Yes.
All right. All righty then. I will.
Well, you surprise me a lot. It's only fair.
That's true. It takes me back to when I was, I think, 19, maybe 20, but I think 19. I was in college studying music. And I thought, I probably ought to do something for income here, a little more income. And I was playing a lot of music and refereeing basketball games, umpiring baseball games. But I had some extra time. I'm going to try to make a few extra bucks. And I went through the one ads, and this lady had some kind of ad for come and take care of some house that she had split into apartments. She didn't live there, but, she rented out the apartments and someone to take care of it. I thought, well, I can do that. And so I called her up and we talked for a little bit. She goes, well, I'd like to meet you and possibly, but what can you do for me? I said, well, what do you need done? And she said, well, what's your background? I said, well, I'm currently studying music at, a university that was 2 miles away from her. And she said, so what are you going to do for me, to sit around and play the piano all day? And I thought, that's a good point.
Yep.
Needless to say, I didn't go for the interview and that job did not work out. Because what does music really qualify you to do? It doesn't mean I can fix lights or fix a leaking sink. Nothing like along those lines. But what music studying, and I mean studying music at a very high and serious level. I can't stress that enough. It's not just opening, play-by-sound book and having fun on the piano. That's important, and I encourage people to do that. But when you study with some of the best folks in the world, the demands are really high.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking 8, 10, 12 hours of practice each day, 7 days a week, in addition to going to class and studying and doing your homework and studying for tests and everything else. And if you didn't keep up on that, you were soon out the door. We don't have time to deal with people who are not serious around here, and that's different today. Today, it's pretty much, oh, you seem like a nice guy or gal. Come on in. Oh, you didn't play any notes right. That's okay. Let's try it again next week. Well, I'm from the old school where I was taught you make a mistake and your rear end might be out of here. And so you learn how to achieve and excel and plan for success. Having said that, would anybody have hired me as a CEO with a music degree? I'm guessing not, unless I had a friend on the board or something. No, I went back to college and got other degrees after that. in business, in leadership, in community. I did a lot of CPA classes. I am not a CPA, but I took a lot of accounting classes. So yeah, there's a whole bunch more schooling that I did way beyond the music degrees to prepare me for a job like that. Hope that answers your question.
It certainly does. And now we're more enlightened about Frank. So that's a good thing, right?
That's right. That's why, sometimes we'll talk about research. Well, I actually did research, at the professional level, to get the advanced degrees. And you talk about people getting kicked out of college. There were people who tried to, cut corners, or they taint a survey or taint their research. Well, you always get caught at that, by the people who know what they're doing. These professors, I mean, they're professional researchers. They can catch a scam right away. If you frame a question, what's your favorite color? And you check below, and it's like red, white, blue, and yellow. Well, what if brown is your favorite color? That's not a choice. So you've already skewed the whole survey, and the whole survey will get tossed out for that one question. Now, that's a very simplistic way of looking at life, because nobody was that stupid in college at the going for the PhD level. But I did see a lot of people get tossed out because they, maybe sometimes on purpose, maybe sometimes not on purpose, they didn't pay attention to detail, and they came up with surveys or other research projects that kind of sort of guaranteed an outcome. And that's not what research is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be throw all caution to the wind and let's see what happens. Oh, here's what happened. Here's the results of my research. Not, I want everyone to pick blue as their favorite color. Therefore, I'll put it at the top of the list in capital letters, bold print. And, oh, son of a gun, blue is their favorite color. I'll be darned. Well, here's the door, sir, and you're not coming back. So anyway.
I know. I understand.
Does that satisfy your email people you can get back to?
It certainly does. And your background kind of mimics mine. I was a scientist and then ended up kind of morphing into administrative jobs within a science endeavor. And then I went back to school and got accounting and business courses and things like that in order to make certain that I was prepared to do that job. So kind of, it's a smart thing to do if you're going to find yourself morphing from something that you hadn't really done before. And so it's fun. So yes, now we know the rest of the story.
All right. Well, there you go. All right. So I wanted to get to this Twitter post. Yes, we still call it Twitter, probably always will, by one of our listeners. He writes in a lot and posts a lot. His first name is Gerald. I didn't clear this with him, so I don't want to give his last name. But he said after a recent episode, I think it was a Wednesday episode, he said, as usual, I listened. I really grin hearing Lisa and Frank, in parentheses, the word chuckle, because he put you first, I guess.
Yes.
I really grin hearing Lisa and Frank good-naturedly make little jabs at each other. Hearing you two discuss lots of different things is absolutely entertaining. All right, so 3 things here. Gerald is on my bad side because he mentioned you first. That's one.
Oh, no.
Second, I'm just kidding. Second one, we make little jabs at each other. You jab at me all the time. I don't recall ever jabbing at you.
Of course you don't. You would never, ever remember those times when you did that. So,
totally confused.
You're not innocent. Trust me.
Okay. But hearing us discover lots of different things is absolutely entertaining. And that's part of the magic of radio. If we just, blah, 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 1, 2, 3, ABC, have a good day, see you later. Well, who wants to listen to that garbage? You want to be entertained, you want to be informed, and you want to learn something, right?
Absolutely. And stop and think about something. We're 2 people sitting here naked because we're naturists, not a concern in the world that that's the condition that we're both in. And we can talk about anything under the sun. And sometimes we talk about things that are not exactly naturist, but they have a tie-ins. But just that level of conversation without any issues, I think is a good thing.
Yeah. Well, kind of like our discussion we'd had a moment ago, me getting advanced degrees and you going back to school. Well, that's not, we didn't attend college while naked, so it had nothing to do with being naked or naturism.
Well, I was on the roof of my dorm naked in sunbathing in college, so does that count?
No. I was naked.
Well, darn it.
I was naked a lot in college too, but it had nothing to do with earning my degree. I didn't show up to class that way. Let's put it that way.
No, I didn't either. And chemistry class would have been kind of dangerous to show up that way.
It's true. All right. We wanted to get into something else here before we go. And we've gotten a lot of requests for this since we started the show back in July of 2023. Why don't we do video? People want to see what we look like. I've already said Robert Redford. And who'd you pick? Suzanne Summers or somebody of some?
Oh, I would really rather go with how gorgeous Halle Berry is, but that's probably not going to apply.
Well,
So,
that's fine. Robert Redford, Halle Berry, that's what we tell people. We also tell them we're 27. Other than that, we always tell the truth on this show. But,
yeah.
the question is, would video of our segments or short snippets, probably not the whole segment, but would that really do any good? And we are seeking listener input on that. We are radio people. We are trained to use our voices to convey messages and convey stories, kind of like, I don't know if you see it this way, Lisa, or not, kind of like the difference between a book and a TV show or a book and a movie. A TV show or a movie, you actually see what's going on,
Hmm.
whereas in a book, they tell you what's going on, but then you have to use your own mind to picture everything. That's kind of how I see radio as opposed to TV. We're talking to people, we're giving them information. They can use their own mind. What does Lisa look like? What does Frank
Hmm.
look like? Are they both naked? Are they both clothed? What's the lighting like? Is there sun outside? Are there
Hmm.
flowers in the studio? And go on forever with your own imagination. So that's why we haven't done it. So would it really make a big difference? And I wanted to read a couple of things here. One is from Richard. He's a regular listener and contributed heavily to the show. I am naked here listening to episode 134. It got me to thinking that I've listened to every episode since July 1st of 2023. Wow. I do remember getting messages from him right out of the gate.
Hmm.
I listened to all episodes fully through even the 100 hours of the 100th episode.
I guess it felt that
It
way.
sure did feel that way. I cannot always be naked every time, but I had a thought you should video record everyone dancing.
Uh-oh.
Still would like to see a picture of all of you. Doesn't have to be nude, just so I can see who I am listening to. Love the show. Keep up the good work. And I asked a few people who are also regular contributors, and one of them, Graham from New Zealand, wrote us doing posting video. I think it would be of immense value. While the podcasts are brilliant and of great value, we're still visual human beings. Video would add substantially because the nonverbal communication would also be picked up by the listeners. Well, that part's true.
Hmm.
So that's what we're doing today. Just would it really make a difference? We don't want to be a show where, we're content driven. Everything we do is all about content, information, entertaining. Yes. We don't want to be the show where, hey, there's a couple of naked people. Why don't we put it on? That destroys the whole aspect of naturism. That's primarily why we haven't done it. Lisa Monroe, any thoughts?
No, I mean, I understand where people are coming from because I've had the same curiosity about people I hear on the radio all the time. And so I've gone looking for photos and everything along those lines. But, I think it's for us, again, like you said, we're radio people. So what we have to say is more important to us than, everybody seeing us. And doggone it, I have to comb my hair every day.
I know. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be terrible? No, easy. But no, I understand where they're coming from. And so, we'd like to know what people think. Might do it on occasion. Who
Yeah.
knows?
And I've always wondered about radio people. It's easier to get access to what radio people look like now, but when we were
Mhm.
kids, before the interwebs, even though we're only 27 again,
Exactly.
you had no clue. And so I'd picture what these people would look like. And then you finally would see them. It's like, whoa, it's not even close to what I pictured. And they act differently than I pictured they would, and so on and so forth. So there is a little bit of a shock value there, but people feel like they know us because they do, because they listen to our words, and in their
Mhm.
imagination, everything else comes to fruition. So that's the question. We're seeking feedback on that. If it's a really big deal, we will consider it and look into it. If it's one of those things that, no, I listen to your show every week. That's all I need. That's fine too. Any last thoughts on that, Lisa?
Well, I think I would like to know what people think, but again, our focus is on what we're content-wise giving to you, and that's the only thing that matters to us is that you're enjoying the information and the guest and the banter, as Gerald said,
Yeah.
and that's what's important to us.
All right. Sounds good. And let us know what you think. Email. We've been through the list before of how you can reach us. We're all over the place. And Lisa Monroe, with that, we will head for the hills. I'll get to my interview with Brady Dell, and then you'll be here at the end of the show, right?
I certainly will be.
All right, I will see you then. Stay clothes free for the next half hour or so. We'll get together in just a little bit.
Sounds good.
The very terrific Lisa Monroe. You already know all of the great things she does around here. Helps with our Patreon page, runs the merchandise, does those memes you see on social media on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and so much more, including coming in for these now 2 segments per week. And we thank Lisa Monroe very much. Well, as a reminder, we are the official podcast for the American Association for Nude Recreation. Are you a member? If so, that is great. But if not, you can become one today. Just go to AANR.com, follow the navigation to membership, and within moments, just like Lisa Monroe is and just like I am, you will be a fully fledged member of the American Association for Nude Recreation. How about that? Well, you are listening to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 137 today. And now let's get to part 1 of my interview with Brady Dell. She is married to Matt Dell. He was on the show last May, I believe. He is the president for the Pine Tree Associates Nudist Club in Annapolis, Maryland. And Brady does a whole bunch there too, and promoting the joys of naturism, nudism, clothes-free living for all over the place. So here we go, part 1 with Brady Dell. We are headed up the coast today from Florida to go up to the state of Maryland to meet a lady whose husband we had on the show before. If you remember back last May, we had Matt Dell on. He was and still is the president of Pine Tree Associates. That's a family nudist club up in Maryland, the Annapolis area. About an hour drive time from D.C. And today we're going to talk to his wife all about the club, all about her career as a runner. She was an actual professional athlete, turned to nude running at some point, and is just into all kinds of health and a club and doing all kinds of great things for naturism. So let's welcome to the show this morning from Pine Tree Associates in the Annapolis, Maryland area, Brady Dell. Good morning, Brady. How are you today?
Good morning, Frank. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Very good to see you today. Although I kind of sort of saw you in the background when we were doing Matt's interview. So it's not the first time we've seen each other, but first time in this setting, right?
Right.
That's right. Where you actually have a microphone. You can be heard this time. I think before you were in the background, you shouted something out, but now you have a microphone. You're good to go.
Yes. I was sneaking by trying to get my little plugs in. Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. Well, before we get into your whole story, and I know that your story, your backstory is far different from Matt's backstory. He was raised, clothes on 25 hours a day. My understanding is you are not. But before we get to that, what's going on at Pine Tree Associates, the family nudist club? What's going on there? Tell us all the great things you guys have been doing since we talked to Matt back last May.
All right. May, June, July. Well, that was a full swing summer. We were getting into summer at that point. So everybody was coming in from Florida, South Carolina, Arizona. Everybody the snowbirds return pretty much. And summer is in full swing. Everything's buzzing, welcome back. And it literally is the beginning of the season. Yeah. So we had a great summer. Lots of new parties, new people, lots of new members. We are in the membership committee, Matt and I. So we did we meet all these new people that come through, which is really exciting. We just had a new people join yesterday at the end of the season. That's unheard of usually. Yeah. At the end of the season you're joining.
Yeah.
But
now you guys stay open all year, or do you close down?
Yes. It's open all year. We try to keep activities going all weekend. Yeah. It's quiet. It gets quiet because half the people are gone. We had a bonfire Friday, movie night outside in the glade with a bonfire on Saturday. Okay. And yesterday was kind of just a recovery chill day at the pool. So
yeah, I'm guessing being in Maryland, a lot of the wintertime activities move inside. Is that fair to assume?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Now, about a week ago or so, you had your big on your calendar. It says Oktoberfest. Is that your Halloween party?
Oktoberfest? No. It's just Halloween is just a Halloween party. It's called Saints and Sinners was our theme. Yeah.
Now, I have that on my calendar for tonight, Saturday, November 1st. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm afraid to ask what saints and sinners is all about because that could go in a lot of directions, but I'm going to ask anyway.
Correct.
Brady Dell, what's going on with Saints and Sinners, the Halloween party at Pine Tree Associates?
It's basically any way you want to interpret it. It can be good and evil, just like the heat miser and the cold miser. It's literally just opposites. So you choose your, I guess, your duo and run with it. So
Right.
Yeah, it's the costumes of nudists are the best because you can literally do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's
with or
true.
without clothes.
Yeah, I've been to Halloween parties in the past where they're not nudist Halloween parties, not naturists at all, at least not self-declared, but everybody tries to show as much skin as possible. Now, at a
Mhm.
nudist resort like yours, we have the opposite. We have a bunch of naked people trying to actually have clothes on. Yeah.
We make use of a lot of paint,
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah.
body paint, makeup.
Yeah, and I've heard that from a lot of folks who like to attend those particular parties, not just on Halloween, but any kind of excuse for a costume party throughout the year. It's because it is a change of pace for them. They can just have a little more fun in a kind of a different way and not be naked all of the time. Every once in a while, throw some clothes on and have some fun. Is that basically your understanding as well?
It very much is. And we have a contest. That's the fun part, is just seeing what people come up with. The most, my favorite is the best use of nudity as
Okay.
far as a costume.
Okay.
So that's usually my favorite. It's usually you use your parts. Like, I mean, tastefully,
Yeah.
obviously, but
Yeah.
it's very amusing, very fun. So let your imagination run wild with that one.
Absolutely. Now, you and I know very well, but a lot of people listening who are not naturists or just tuning in to find out what this is all about, it's to me anyway, and I'm thinking you agree based on what you just said, naturists just have a way of having a lot more fun in life, don't they?
Yes. Yep. There's no, I guess, social stipulations that classify you in any, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
everybody's the same. We're on the same level playing ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can just be yourself and not have to worry about this guy or gal outdressing you or having a bet or this, that, or the other thing. It's just here I am, baby, and there you are, and let's have a drink and maybe some food and dance, and later we'll put costumes on because of the Halloween party. But what about the rest of this year, 2025? You have, well, obviously Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
Yeah.
Any events
Yes.
planned for these dates?
It typically, we will have like potluck Thanksgiving dinners, and they end up being pretty extravagant. A lot of people will come for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas, it gets a little quiet because everybody's with family, what have you. But we do a white elephant exchange,
Mm-hmm.
where you participate and exchange gifts that way. You steal. That's actually pretty fun, where you steal the gift and it kind of
Mm-hmm.
goes. And if you get a lot of people with that, the white elephant, it is pretty fun.
Yeah.
And the gifts of nudists can be really amusing because most of them are nude themed,
Yeah, I figured. Can you give us an example or two or of some of the better ones that you've seen along the way?
It's a lot of times it's games that are nude
Okay.
inspired.
Okay.
And we usually keep them up at the Keys Hall and share, we'll have game nights and use these said games to play. Twister.
That's a staple of the nudism community, right?
Right. And we'll give away signs, nude crossing, nudists see more of their friends. It's a lot of fun. It's only things among nudists that you're not going to get it from grandmom,
Although, wouldn't it be funny if your grandmother came over and saw that and said, "Hey, I have one just like that."
It's not uncommon.
Yeah, I know, and more common than people know. And then you ask the question, "Well, Grandma, why didn't you tell me? 35 years ago?" And she might say, "Well, Brady, why didn't you tell me?" Or not you, but anybody in particular.
Right.
And there's a lot of that going on out there. A lot of people are nudists, naturists, clothes-free living all the time, but they don't tell anybody about it. At least nobody in their work circle, their family circle. And then when family does find out, you get one of two reactions. What in the world are you thinking? Or, oh, that's great. So am I. Or, that's great. You do you.
Yep. You take that risk.
Yeah, exactly. And the bottom line is who cares what somebody else thinks, right?
At this point, yes. I mean, I
Yeah.
used to care a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't want my dad to find out.
Okay.
'Cause I'm always I'm always that kid that is like, another tattoo. Like every time I see him, he's just like, come on.
Yeah.
So he was the only one that I never told. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, there's certain people in my family that just may not know, but at this point I could care less.
Right.
Um,
You get to that point where, listen, this is how I am most comfortable. Why in the
yeah,
world would I do something on purpose to make me uncomfortable just to please you? It doesn't make any sense, does it?
yep.
Yeah.
That's where I am. I don't care anymore. And Matt and I literally spread the word.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we get so many new members. You know, we do get the look, we get the stink eye. We're like, but
Yeah.
we get a
Yeah.
lot of good reactions and a lot of people are curious about this lifestyle and they try it out, come in, and they might come back, they might run away.
Right. And again, it goes back to the choice. You're choosing to be nude. They're choosing it's not for me. That's okay, right?
Mhm,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. You don't tie anybody down and say you have to stay here with your clothes off. No, you just not for you. Go ahead. Have a nice day. Do something else. We're going to be nude, by the way, after you leave, and we're going to enjoy
Yes.
ourselves too. Yeah, exactly. Now, I was under the impression that you were raised clothes free. Is that a false impression? You were not?
I was not, but I was the kid that always ran around taking their clothes off.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. So I was the kid running around the yard and my dad chasing after me, trying to put clothes on me. Um, just because, I was embarrassing him running
Right.
around naked. Okay. As I get a little older, you hit puberty and you get self-conscious. So I did have a little bit of time where I was a little bit more reserved. But as I grew out of that, I still found myself walking around the house. Like when I had my own house, I would just walk around, windows open, blinds open, no care in the world,
Yeah.
naked,
Yeah.
wondering why
Yeah.
my neighbors are looking at my windows.
Yeah. And they probably are, but again, who cares? That's their problem, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't get that too much anymore because of where I live. It'd be really awkward for someone to look in my window. You'd have to be like openly and clearly trespassing, for starters. But I've lived in other places where it was really easy to see me, and I've caught a few people like heads up to the eyes up to the window. It's like, okay, folks, that's really way over the top here. I mean, if you want to see me nude, I'll open the door and show you. But that's I'm thinking that's illegal. Isn't that the whole peeping tom thing? Your eyes glued
Oh,
to
yeah.
somebody's window to see in? Yeah, and so that's on them at that point.
Right. Just passersby, I
Yeah,
would just be cleaning the house, but,
yeah.
naked, not caring. And I'd forget sometimes and walk outside my back patio. To live the way we do now is amazing.
Do you live at Pine Tree year round?
Um, right now we've just because we work here
Mm-hmm.
and live here, we've been here for a couple of years.
Oh, okay, okay,
It's not common just because I work the pool 5 days a week.
okay. Yeah,
So to commute is ridiculous because it's an hour from,
yeah.
where our other place is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it just makes sense. And that way I can open and close the pool if it's bad weather.
Mm-hmm.
It's just convenient, to just walk up, open the pool, close it if I have to. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Well, it makes perfect sense. Yeah.
It's not a long-term thing.
Okay. And so, okay, so you do have another place when you're done with whatever you're doing there in terms of Matt's presidency or your job. Eventually, you'll go back, but for now, it's
Yes.
25/8, as I like to say. You're living the nude life, or at least you can if you choose to.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Where I live now, it's a traditional neighborhood. It's not a clothes-free neighborhood at all, and I am so
I'm
comfortable.
sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And I am so comfortable, clothes free. This goes back to what you were talking about before. You walked around your house all the time that way. I actually have to consciously, and I mean openly consciously, remind myself before I leave the house and the front door, if I'm going to go to the street and get my mail, got to put something on. And whether it's shorts and a shirt or just shorts, at least I have something on. Otherwise, I
Right.
would, because I've done the same thing in the backyard. I've just walked out either to take a dog out or check on the pool or whatever. Just walk in the backyard with the pool, not even thinking about it. And then I'll see a neighbor,
Right.
next door. It's like, oh, shoot, they might have a problem with this. I think one of them does. So quickly cover up because we're not into that whole scene. We just enjoy clothes-free living for all the right reasons, as I like to say, right?
Right.
Yeah, very good.
Right.
All right, so growing up, you did not come from a naturist home, but you were the kid who had her clothes off as often as possible. And in the house, was your dad okay with you in the house nude, or was it only when you were outside and the neighbors could see?
I don't remember ever having an issue inside the house,
Okay.
but definitely out because we had a huge yard, a pool, and
Yeah.
I would run around. I mean, it's if you can think of the the scene where the dad is chasing the small child,
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to catch up to him
Yeah.
that was me.
I was going to make a joke earlier, as far as when you stop doing that. Like if he's chasing a 5-year-old around that's one thing. But if you're 22, he's still chasing you. It's like,
Yeah, that's
Brady,
different.
maybe we better have a talk here, Brady, because you're an adult now. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's and we could go on the next 55 hours discussing that, so we won't. But just the whole
Right.
thing, what is wrong with a naked body in your backyard? Hello, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Yet people, oh my gosh, he's naked, right?
Right. Right. I don't know what's so scary.
Yeah.
We are very lucky here. I got to go back to what you were saying when you go outside and you have to remember to put clothes
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Here in this community, since it's gated, it's all, kind of self-contained. We're so used to just walking out, walking the dogs, just put
Yeah.
shoes on,
Mm-hmm.
flip-flops, walking the dogs like it's nothing. When we
Yeah.
go elsewhere, like we're going to be in Myrtle Beach for most of this winter.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to remember that we are not in Kansas anymore.
That's right. That's right. I
Um,
literally, I know people think I'm joking when I say this, but you'll understand it pretty well. I literally keep a pair of shorts and a T-shirt right by the front door to serve as my reminder. Oh yeah, yeah. I got to do that.
yeah. Did you put your pants on today?
Exactly, because if I don't have to, they're not going on. Now this morning, I took my dog out the back door and then off to the side of the house, and it was still dark. It was still dark.
Um,
So I figured, well, that'll be totally safe. I've done that a million times. It'll be totally safe. Nobody goes back there ever. Although the one neighbor next door, if she looked out her window, yeah, she could see. But it was dark. It was early, like 5:30 in the morning. That's when I'm usually pretty safe, and no harm, no foul. She didn't come over,
mhm.
running with a baseball bat or anything. So we can have those moments. But yeah, out the front door, shorts and a T-shirt at the door to remind me, hey Frank, you better put something on before you go out. Although honestly, in my neighborhood, I don't think anybody would have a problem with it. They might say,
No.
"Oh, nice to see more of you today. We didn't expect that." But I don't think they'd have a problem. It's all adults over a certain age. There are no kids in the area, so who knows, right?
Okay.
People are people, and if they want to complain, they can complain. If not, whatever. But we're staying
Yeah.
clothes free either way, right?
Correct.
All
Yep.
right.
As long as we possibly can.
Yeah, you got that right. We were talking to Brady Dell this morning. She and her husband Matt's the president of the Pine Tree Associates. America's premier family nudist club is how you were billed. That's on your website. And Brady, you're running the pool there and doing all kinds of amazing things with the events and everything. And people can find that club at pinetreeclub.org. That's in the show notes as well. Now, I want to talk about
Mhm.
your athletic career because you were quite the runner at a professional level, right?
Matt likes to glorify me a little bit, but yes, that's how we met.
It's okay to brag on this show. Don't just lay it right out there.
I got really good at it. And I acquired sponsors with him being one of my sponsors, which
Wow.
was pretty much how we found this together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like we said earlier about the naked race up in Pennsylvania, which is another nudist resort.
Mhm.
I didn't know anything about nudist resorts at all. I just wanted to go run this race. I
Yeah.
was like, I want to see how this happens. How do you get away with this?
Yeah.
We made the trip up and did the race, and I happened to win the race, which was even better because I mean, I had to wear socks for the sponsors.
Yeah.
One
Of
of
course.
my
Yeah.
one of my
Yeah.
one of my sponsors. So I had to wear. I'm like, what am I going to wear? I have to represent my people.
Right.
So I had like a hat and socks and shoes,
Hmm.
to represent. So the pictures I took, I had to block everything out.
Yeah. Of
Um,
course. Yeah.
yeah. But it was the most freeing, fantastic experience. And after the very first one, I signed up for every single one every year, as many as we could until it got too far to travel.
Hmm.
Right now it's too far away, but we're trying to have these races here now at Pine Tree.
Hmm.
We just need a little bit more logistics and just to hone in on, I guess, the entire race process. We just want to get more professional with it. We've
Right.
thrown these races together here,
Hmm.
just kind of off the cuff. But
Yeah.
we're going to get more organized and have trail races, because we've got miles of trails here at Pine Tree.
Yeah.
And I think it'll draw a pretty nice crowd. You always like a good T-shirt too, so we'll get a
That's
Pine Tree.
that's
You
right.
just love funny T-shirts that
Oh
you
yeah.
know, yeah. So we'll
No,
we'll we'll get there.
and then we can wear those T-shirts at the store. As
Absolutely.
as nudists, we have a nudist T-shirt on. Nobody can complain. It's like, hey, I'm dressed, lady. What more do you want, right?
We love wearing our nudist clothes to spark the interest, and it actually really works
Oh yes.
in public places.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of people here asking, "What's that mean? Where'd you get
Yeah.
that shirt?" It just says "Get Naked" or "Pine
Yeah.
Tree," and it really helps to advertise to bring people into the club.
It does. Now, some people will, smile or snicker and just walk past you, but other people will say, "Wait a minute, is that a nudist club?" And then you have them, right? Then you can
Hmm.
actually talk to them. It's like, "Yes, it is. In fact, you should come up and visit us," and then you get into the whole conversation. But if you just had a plain yellow T-shirt on or whatever, it wouldn't spark any interest as far as naturism because they wouldn't know. So, yeah, I like the
Right.
T-shirts, the hats, whatever you can put on that says "Hello, everybody. I love to be clothes free whenever possible." That's what sparks the
Yep.
interest as well in other people.
I would run every race naked if I could.
Yeah, yeah, I would too. I've never actually, kind of a strange quirk just in my life or schedule. I've never actually officially signed up for a naked race. Yet, there was a time, like about a 10, 15-year stretch, where every morning I was running, doing my morning running while nude. Now, up and down streets of neighborhoods, nude might seem a little bit risky, but it was a sleepy town, a sleepy neighborhood. At 4 a.m., nobody was going to see me ever, no chance, and not even a car would pass by ever. So it was actually pretty safe. Even though it sounds risky, it really
Wow.
wasn't. I mean, the only way it could have been a risk, I guess, is if somebody heard about it and alerted the police, but I didn't tell anybody. It's not like I said, hey, I'm going to be naked tomorrow at 4 a.m., everybody, if you want to come out and say hello. I just kept it really quiet. So I've run nude forever, but
That's
I've never been,
crazy.
yeah, never been in a race. So what is that whole experience like? I do want to get back to your athletic career with clothes
Yeah,
on, but
yeah.
we'll get to that in a minute. But what's that like? You already said it's basically the most freeing thing in the world. And you noticed that from the very first race that you did?
Yes. So we all line up. Everybody's naked. We all line up, and there's a cyclist that leads you naked. So we chase the cyclist around the course, and just running with I mean, just everything's out and bouncing, and it's men and women. It's wonderful. And it's just in nature. You feel the breeze through all your parts,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it feels like you're a child. I mean, it
Yeah.
literally it brings me back to when I was a little kid running around the yard.
Hmm.
So I was just running around with this big smile on my face, like, this is great. I mean, I can't, until you do it,
Hmm.
you won't understand. You know what I
Right.
mean? You
Right.
gotta try it. And
Yeah.
I was hooked, and obviously Matt was hooked. That's
Yeah.
that's what brought us to nudism, period.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that race opened that opened the that this world to us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember he told the story. It was after you two were together, and you were going to be in a nude race, and I guess he decided at some point, okay, I'll do it too, even though he had never been clothes free in public, I don't think. And so he showed up and kept his clothes on forever. Everybody was
Uh-huh.
naked as jaybirds except old Matt Dell's, still fully dressed.
Yep.
And he said one of your friends went up and said, Matt, you really got to get your clothes off. You're looking way out of place here.
Yeah. Well, she was the girl that she was my friend. You had to write the number on your leg because there's no place to
Okay.
put a bib.
Oh, okay.
So he was like, okay.
Yeah, And then he
It was
did
great.
well. And has he ever run a race since then with his clothes on?
Yeah,
Oh,
because you
oh,
have to.
okay.
Yes,
Just to
but
keep in shape and all that.
yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
we we ran a lot of races together. But the nude races were that was like the highlight of our summer because there was one in June and one in August, and we were like, oh, I wish they had one in July.
Yeah.
But yeah. But we're like I said, we want to have that here. That would be so great to have it here. It just we will eventually. But
Yeah.
yeah, the only way to run is naked. Like I want to do a beach run.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Well, I would love to do a beach run, a naked
Yeah.
beach run.
Yeah. Now, how would you do that? Would you have to have the local authorities rope off a section and keep people
We
out
would
if they
just
didn't want
probably
to
have
come
to
in? Or,
find a nude beach.
oh, yeah. Okay, that would work easily. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's already accepted and allowed. Any nude
Yes.
beaches in that area? I just don't know.
Um,
Go ahead.
there's New Jersey. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
all of I think yeah, Gunnison.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's a nude beach.
Yeah.
But nothing really close to here. It's still a couple hours from
Oh
here,
wow.
unfortunately. I know.
And if you head south from Maryland, where's the first place you might find a nude beach?
Oh,
Anything at all?
I don't think so.
Wow.
No, there's nothing in. I don't believe there's anything in the Carolinas that has a beach, but that would be great.
I was thinking back to I went to a beach, a regular textile beach with a friend of mine years ago, a guy I knew. We were in college together, and we decided to go out to the beach for a couple of hours, and we were going to do something else and play music or whatever. And I started taking my clothes off. I mean, all my clothes off. He said, "Hey, this is not a nude beach." And I said, "Well, it is now. We were far enough away, nobody could see us." And he just
Right,
looked at
right.
me like I was crazy. And even though he knew, I was a naturist nudist, that wasn't a surprise. The surprise was taking your clothes off at the beach. I said, if
Hmm.
you look around, and I looked at the person closest to us, which were probably, I'm guessing, 100 yards away, 200 yards away,
You're
and
fine.
you could tell it was a woman because she had long hair. Well, I shouldn't say that. I assumed it was a woman because of the long hair. And I said, "What is she wearing?" And he said, "Well, I can't see." I said, "Well, there you go. She can't see me either." And so you got some of that. Sometimes you just got to make your own nude beach, right, for the moment.
Yes. Yeah, without getting arrested.
Well, oh yes, yeah, we're big proponents of not pushing the boundaries to the point you get in trouble and get arrested and have to go through that whole thing because that almost, in some cases, never ends. You'll be fighting that battle the rest of your life, right?
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
in some towns, some states, you could be put on a sex offender list, which makes no sense to me at all.
No sense. No.
But they do. And then you're labeled, and then wherever you move, you have to, I think, announce to your neighbors, "Hey, I'm moving in. I'm on the sex offender list. Have a good day." Well, that's
Yeah.
just going to make everybody upset before you even get your furniture in, right?
Right.
Yeah. So just
Yeah.
we big advocates for staying away from trouble. Now work on changing the laws. We're big advocates of
Exactly.
that, but don't just get out there naked. Say, chuck the laws. I'm gonna run down Main Street no clothes on because that won't
Do
end
what I
well.
want.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Let's go back to your athletic career then, with clothes on. And again, it's okay to brag because I'm asking the question. You're being forced in a situation where you have to tell the truth here, Brady. You can't sugarcoat or say, "Yeah, I ran a few races and I did okay." I'm asking you specifically. Tell us all of the great things you did in the world of running.
Gosh. Well, I'll try to be quick. Because it started in, I guess, 2000. I discovered my first race. It was just a pub 5K. I was like, oh, this is my local bar. I'm going to run for this bar. And I won the race. Um, and then I just like, oh, this is addictive. So I started doing it every weekend, new race, new race. It was all road races. And I did find out about the nude race along this line, but I just kept on racing, racing. And once you get good and you win, you acquire sponsors.
Okay.
Um, so the more sponsors you get, the more races you do, the more exposure you get.
Okay.
And everybody knows you. So that can be good and bad because then you've got people that want to beat you. And
Sure.
then there's people that are like, oh, she's here. I'm not going to win anything because she's here, But I've been in that position where I'm like, oh my gosh, Brenda's here. I'm never going to win this race,
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it turns over. Everybody gets their chance.
Yeah.
I did really well for about 10 years. And like I said, I met Matt, and I met a few other sponsors. I started doing the trail races, Spartan races, stuff like that, where you can, very hard races, obstacles, blood, mud, um, and mixed in those naked races.
Yeah.
So it was great. It was a great run. It was great. I had so many trophies in our basement that Matt made a wall out of all of my t-shirts. We used it like a tile
Yeah.
in our
Oh,
basement.
that's great. Wow.
It was a nice run. I mean, I had a good racing career.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. How did you get into running to begin with? Is that something you did in high school, track, cross country,
No.
anything like that?
No, did not. I was high school. I just played softball, swam a little bit. I wanted to play soccer. I was very much a runner. I've always been an athlete as a kid.
Yeah.
Always been an athlete. Always trying to better my body, better my performance, just optimize. So that's kind of where nudism, longevity. So we've also kind of married longevity with nudism, freedom. It's just, it's just a nice way to live. Very, very free, very open, and just good for the body and soul to live this way. But the racing just opened my eyes to new places. You travel all around, and I would put destination races where I could visit different places. But the nude races were always my favorite. I was always searching for more of those, but they are very far and few between.
The very terrific Brady Dell from the Pine Tree Associates Nudist Club in Annapolis, Maryland, does an unbelievable amount for the world of naturism in her club and nude racing, and she's just everywhere promoting the joys of naturism, nudism, and clothes-free living for all. And on next week's Saturday show, which will be episode 139, part 2 of my interview with Brady Dell. And before we head home for the day, until Wednesday comes along, let's bring back in our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. Welcome back, Lisa.
It's very nice to be back. I've been away for so long.
I know. We missed you.
Thank you. Oh, how kind of you. I'm overcome.
We asked law enforcement to put an APB out for you, and apparently they found you because you're here.
Yes. I was escorted back into the building. Sorry. Anyway.
All right. Any thoughts on Brady Dell? And before you do, those people are amazing. Brady and her husband, Matt, and the whole Pine Tree Associates Nudist Club thing in Annapolis, Maryland. They're just always on fire, always doing something for the greater naturist community. Any thoughts?
Absolutely. I enjoyed Matt's interviews when he was with us, and Brady was just terrific. She, it's a lot of enthusiasm, and, she's very athletic, and she that exudes from her, and her love of naturism and is contagious. So it was a great interview. I'm looking forward to the next half.
Yeah, I think if we ever visit their club, you and I will decline an invitation to play on the other team. From Matt and Brady, say, hey, you want to be, play some pickleball or some volleyball? Why don't you be on the other team? We'll say, no, thank you. We'll be on your team, or we'll just politely watch.
I will just play on Brady's side and just say, oh, you get that one. Oh, no, you get that one. No, you take that ball. That'll work.
That's right. All right, Lisa Monroe, with that, let's head for the hills. Promise to stay clothes-free, and I'll see you on Wednesday.
I will promise if you will.
Sounds good. Have a great few days.
Bye.
Well, you've been listening to Naked, Nudist, and Naturist, episode 137 today. We give you a brand new show every Saturday morning, 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, and on most Wednesdays, 12 noon Eastern Time. Continue to join us. Check us out on our website, nakednudistandnaturist.com, Spotify, Google, Amazon/Audible, Apple Podcasts, and also on Twitter. You can write us anywhere, anytime, anyplace. And we thank you for being with us today. Plan to join us for every single one of our shows here, and have your clothes off when you're listening. We have our clothes off when we're broadcasting, enjoying the naturist life.
We celebrate clothes-free living for all. Remember to enjoy being naked and join us again for Naked, Nudist, and Naturist.
We drop a brand new show every Saturday morning, so come back and join us. Have your clothes off when you do for Naked, Nudists, and Naturists. Have a great clothes-free day.